This is Ocean Echo 9 Tango Alpha Victor returning for the final. I'm really sorry, it's a little bit above the noise floor, and my noise floor is about S1. So it's sometimes readable, sometimes not. Thank you so much for calling in. You're in the lock. I wish you and your family all the best. 73, stay healthy and safe. And 3 Victor United, Oscar Echo 9 Tango Alpha Victoria 70.
All right, you guys. What's going on, K1 GMM? What do we got going here? So, this is going to be, I'm going to try and keep this as short and sweet as possible. Grief. Let's see. I get things minimized here. So, let me know if everything's okay. I'm assuming audio's okay. I'm going to just take these off for now. I checked it. So, couple things since my last video on Voicemeter Potato. It had a major malfunction in Potato. And let me see if I can. Do a little bit of an edit here. Hopefully everything's okay. Hey, Mike, how's it going? And Tim, John, boy, if you're there. So, Potato had a major malfunction. I've been doing a lot of reading and research, and I don't know how many hours I've got into this crap, but it's enough to make me almost want to puke. I put Chiquita Banana in here, Voicemeter Banana, this morning. And I'm going to just run through the configuration. It's almost identical to Potato, but this is a much more compact piece of software. Potato has, I don't know how many channel strips for inputs, but all I need is one, no more than 2. So Banana seems to be a better option. Now, anybody who's tried Potato, I need to apologize up front, because what happened to me also happened to Glenn, K4GHC, the other night. You light it up and all of a sudden the audio's all distorted and it's all screwed up. So I'm going to run through the setup on Banana and show you how to make this work with an Anon and the Sun. Right now I have the Anon running, and with a DAW for audio processing, including piping the audio to OBS. Okay, so what ended up happening was, I figured out is that Potato, this Voicemeter stuff, and I played with a couple other ones. I can't get them to work, man. I did get Crystal Audio to work, but the latency was so horrid that it was unusable. It was like literally 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds of latency. With VB audio cable. I was working on that for a while this morning. Actually got it running, and it was clear and clean, but the latency was just ridiculous. So the whole purpose of this is, I got to tell you guys, our friend Paul, the 2 card failures in the past few weeks that have happened, I haven't had a card failure yet. We suspect it has to do with RF. Now, RF in the shack, getting onto the cables, taking out sensitive components. If you go to my website, that will be posted in the description of this video, the ESSB website, there's a whole write-up in there on RF and what it can cause, what it can do to these sensitive electronic devices like sound cards. What we suspect happened was the RF got in there, and the voltage increased to the point where it caused a failure of the circuit in the card or circuits, whatever. So the card is scrap, it's junk. Now, this has happened to 2 people I know, and this has happened to at least 3 people a friend of mine knows over in Scotland. So that makes a total of 5. And there's one common denominator in that equation, and in that is they're all Mackeys. I'm going to go ahead and put this out here, and I don't care if I catch flack for it or not. You know me. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm a straight shooter. Mackie cards are crap. I used to be a huge proponent of Mackie. That is 5 Mackie card failures in a ham radio, an amateur radio station's environment. 5. And they're all Mackies. Garbage. My advice to anybody out there, stay away from Mackie. Don't do it. The easiest way to get around this, and it's what I do here, and this is why I'm trying to get away from you running the second card. See, I have a Mackie card. It's a cheaper card over here. I've never had an issue. It's not that old. It's only about maybe a month and a half old, 2 months old maybe at this point, and has always worked great. But I don't have any RF issues, and I don't think it takes much RF to ruin it, to screw it up. Check out the page on the website on opto isolators, line isolators, transformers, stuff like that. If you're going to play in this realm, it may be worth taking a look at that and make damn sure you don't have any RF in your station. Like what I would consider dangerous levels of RF. Getting into your cables, your USB cables, interconnecting cables and stuff like that. Because and if you're running a Mackie card, this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, is to get away from using the second card. One card I questioned the M Audio cards for a long time, as some of you may know. I don't question them anymore. These things are freaking workhorses, and they are built like a freaking tank. So the M Audio cards are good. I have abused this card. I've had it about 2 years, and it's a great card. It's the M Audio 192.4, and I don't recommend anything to anybody. Use whatever the frick you want. I don't care. I'm just telling you what has happened and my experience. That's it. You take this information, you do with it what you want. Okay? So that's the reason why I'm trying to move everything into the virtual realm and get away from using a second card. And you're probably saying, well, why the heck do you need 2 cards? Well, to get audio to an SDR transceiver, you have to be able to share the card with the DAW. If you're running a DAW, so the DAW is running on the card, you also have to use the card in the VAC or sound card in your SDR transceiver. You can't share a card unless you have, well, you can't share an individual card without some piece of software or whatever. Enter the Voicemeter stuff. Now, I've tried, like I said, a bunch of other software, not a bunch, but a few others. Can't get it to work. Way above my pay grade. That being said, the Voicemeter stuff is crap. I'm going to tell you right up front. Determine how much time you want to spend tweaking and farting around with this. I've got it working, and I was able, when the bug happens, and it will happen, I guarantee it'll happen. You'll light everything up and your audio will be all distorted, right? So I'll show you how I deal with that. And it's usually a fairly quick fix, but it's not without its quirks and it's not without its problems. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with this. So let me run through a quick setup tutorial on getting Banana running on your DAW. So let's get over to the other screen. So right here, we've got a DAW running. Okay, this is Cakewalk. I have all my plugins loaded in. I'm not going to get into this. I will show you how to connect it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to open up, download and install Voicemeter Banana. Go to your bottom right-hand corner, click the sound icon, select sounds, go to playback, scroll down. This is the way I have mine set up. So if you right-click on Voicemeter input, go to properties, make sure that allow applications to take exclusive control of this device is unchecked. Make sure that's unchecked. I have my bit rate at 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. All right, I'm just showing you, maybe it'll work elsewhere. This is how I have mine running. You can right-click on this. You want to set this as a default device. Okay, do the same thing for the auxiliary input. Click Properties, Advanced, make sure this box is unchecked, exclusive mode, and make sure you're set to 24-bit, 44.1. Okay? And what I did is I right-click on this and I set this to default communication device. All right, go to Recording tab up here, scroll down, exact same thing on these two under the recording section. No exclusive control, default device, Voicemeter output, auxiliary output, default communication device. This is how I have it running. That's done. Click Apply, OK. Now you need to set up your input. Go to your input, hardware 1 right here. Try a bunch of these different ones. What you want, stereo mix. What the flippin' heck? Okay, so I activated the stereo mix earlier. See, this is what I'm talking about. It changed it. So I'm going to go ahead. This is risky. I'm going to go ahead and change the input. All right. So this needs to be on your, this needs to be on the line 1, line 2 of the physical audio card that you're using. Okay, the external audio card. So I'm going to change this to M Audio 2. Check 1, 2, check, check. And it's working. Good. So make sure that is set there. See what I mean? It is quirky. It's weird. You change anything in that sound area, oh yeah, things get weird on you. Okay, next step. Go over to the A1, A2, A3. These are your hardware outs. You want your hardware out to be on the ASIO or whatever the sound card that you're using. In my case, it's the M Audio Air. I set that. It's an ASIO card. On A2, you can select multiple outputs to route audio to different devices. Okay, so what I do for OBS is I engage the A2, and that ain't supposed to be happening. So it changed that as well. Oh no, I'm on A1, A2. A2, so I set mine to MME speakers, Realtek audio. Okay. Excuse me. So you're able to select A2 in these virtual inputs, and it will send that audio out to either your M Audio card in A1 or A2 out to speakers. Now, why do I have to do that? Because OBS is a pig, and it will not share. It doesn't share a sound card. So you're basically using two individual sound cards. OBS is using your Realtek sound card, and everything else is using your M Audio, right? So, all right. So go over to your channel strip here, select B2. I kick the mono in, channel 1. Go over here. If you're not running streaming software, ignore A2. Just ignore it. If you are running, if you do stream, you're going to want A2 engaged on, this is my microphone audio, and if I bring the audio up on the radio, you'll see Voicemeter VAIO. You'll see this meter move. So I'll bring the audio up on the radio.
Delta India Golf,
See it?
OE9 Tango Alpha Victor.
Okay, so that will pipe audio to your stream. Now A1 is what you monitor through. Remember, A1 up here is set to your audio card. The M Audio card. So that's how you monitor everything, is through the A1, through the card. So your headphones are plugged into the card. And if you choose, let's say you're running on, you just want to run on the speakers on your rig, and you don't care about listening to your audio. I will tell you, every single time you light this software up, monitor your audio. Turn the output drive down on your speakers, click the A1 on the Voicemeter aux, and listen to your audio. Make sure it's clean before you start transmitting or do anything. All right. And then if it's good, go ahead and click that off, and you won't be able to monitor it. You won't hear it, and then you can just run the radio on the speakers. And it will still pass the audio from Cakewalk to the rig. Okay, so that explains that stuff. All right, A1 is your direct monitor. That allows you to hear the rig and your microphone audio if you so choose. A2 pipes audio to another piece of software wherever you want it to go. In my case, it's OBS. All right. Under this one, the Voicemeter aux, make sure B1 is activated. All right. And that is it. That is it. You may want to go into menu here, go to System Settings Options. I can show you where my what my buffers are set to. Okay, that's the buffers, and you can change this if you have to. I didn't have to. I actually, the default for the MME is 1024. I moved it to 512. If you hear any stuttering when you're on an MME driver, this is probably the reason you have to increase that buffer size, but I don't, so there you go. Preferred main sample rate, I have this at 48 kilohertz. All right, so now we're over to Cakewalk. So now you got to get Cakewalk communicating with Potato. So go to Edit, Preferences, and this is the same for any DAW. Go to your devices, and you should see all your Voicemeter information in here, populated into these boxes. Choose Voicemeter aux Virtual ASIO in the input and output. Click Apply. Okay. And you're out of there. See, I'm fussing, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure everything's still okay, and it is. So, all right, now we move on to the rig. Let's see. Let's get over here to the rig. So this is the Anon 200D. And basically what you do is go to your setup, go to your VAC1. What you want to select is ASIO, Voicemeter Virtual ASIO in your input and output, not your sound card. Because remember, Voicemeter is your middleman, and that's distributing the audio throughout the entire system. So you want Voicemeter Virtual ASIO, set your buffer size accordingly. And if you get any chopping or glitches, you may need to increase that buffer size. All right. I set mine as low as it'll go, 64, and I don't have any problems. All right. That's it for that. So we'll shut this down. We'll jump over to the sun. This will take a minute to load. Hold on to your lug nuts. Waiting. Patience is a virtue. Okay. This on. Okay, this is the SDR2DX. Go up to Options, Sound Card, exactly the same thing. You can see my audio from Cakewalk, and Voicemeter is going into the sun right here. This is your receive audio. All right, Voicemeter Virtual ASIO, Voicemeter Virtual ASIO, enable, done. Now here's where things get fugly. So let me make sure I'm going to go ahead and kill this. so we don't have anything confusing here. So here's where things get fugly, and this is what I want to show you guys. Anybody who's going to play with this, now I think, Mike, you run a Sun, right? Kabuka Theater, KB2 UKA. You run a Sun, I think, don't you? So if you're going to play this game, and I know John's in here, and he may end up going this route, so let me show you some things. Okay. So I found the order in which you start the software can be critical sometimes. What I've been doing is I launch Cakewalk first. Now, before on Potato, I was launching Potato first. But it seems like things are more stable. Things tend to behave better when I launch Cakewalk first. So I launch Cakewalk. I let it completely populate and configure. And once that's done, then I go ahead and launch Banana, Voicemeter Banana. Check my audio. If it's clean, cool, I'm off and running. Then I launch the radio. Usually I don't have a problem with those three things, but the minute I launch OBS, sometimes sometimes the audio will it'll go into the crunch zone. So what I found is oftentimes you can just close OBS or whatever streaming software you're running and then reopen it again, and it will stabilize. All right. If it doesn't, so let's say you close it and the audio is still crackly and all screwed up, sometimes you can go right here and you can toggle the echo in Cakewalk. So you just toggle this in and out, off and on, and all of a sudden, boom, it'll behave itself again. Here's the other thing I do. I go back into Edit Preferences and I disable the sound card. Uncheck these boxes, hit Apply, OK. Close this window, reopen it again, enable these boxes, hit Apply, OK, boom. It straightens it all out. Launch OBS again and everything's fine. More often than not, I can just close OBS and reopen it and it will settle down. I just wanted to show you guys that because eventually, if you're playing this game, it will happen to you. I've done a lot of reading about Voicemeter. If you can get another piece of software to work to do this, good on you, man. Be sure and let me know how you did it. And don't be a turd like everybody else is. And post a very detailed, specific tutorial on how you got it running step by step. I would kill to see it. I want it because I'd like to get away from Voicemeter ultimately. But it's all I got. It's all I can work with. It's the only thing that works at this point. So, I wanted to show you. So remember in Banana, I set up the A2 to run the Realtek speakers. Right. So what I do it's going to go crazy here. Bear with me. What I do in OBS is you can go into settings, audio, and desktop audio. All you have to do is select that same selection you have in the A2 in whatchamacallit there, Banana, and click Apply, OK, and away you go. You're off and running. You'll see your rig audio being passed to OBS. So let me, I'll kick this back on.
Please your name, over. Again, please. Roger. Sorry, Mike, I got it. Okay. Mike, thanks for calling. Stay safe. Enjoy the day. Whiskey 5, Italy.
This sounds like I've got a little conflict going on with the playback, and it's probably got to do with OBS.
Okay, very, very nice signal here. We have a very nice, I think I didn't give you the signal report. You're 57 to 58 here, John.
Apply, okay. Wait for him to come back. If you hear any...
Yeah, Roger, excellent copy, John. Thank you so much. So don't hold you over too long, and my regards to your family. Stay healthy and safe. 73 to Connecticut. November Delta 1 X-ray, Oscar Echo 9 Tango Alpha Victor.
So as you can hear...
And QRZ 20, this is Ocean Echo 9 Tango America Victor CQ.
So as you can hear, there's a little...
something Lima?
There's a little tiny bit of crackling going on. And most likely...
Okay, Alpha Charlie 1 Lima, Alpha Charlie
hear that?
1 Lima. What's the last letter, sir?
That is most likely a buffering issue.
Roger, Alpha Charlie 1 Lima Golf.
Nope.
Good to hear you, old man. Thanks for replying my call. My name is Tamer, and your report is 55 to 57 here, a little bit of fading.
Okay, that looked like it took care of it. So I'm out to, on the sun, jump over to the spectrum. So I had to jump out to 2048, and it's most likely because OBS is running, because normally I can run it at 64 without OBS running, but OBS...
Excellent copy here, Bill. Alpha Charlie 1 Lima Golf. This is OE9TAV returning.
Yeah, it took it completely out. So if I put this as 64,
on the air this evening, together with the
click apply.
Beautiful, running your 401 at the moment, the 890. Fired up by a LD MOS linear amplifier, Bill. That's my little setup here, and I'm just sitting in the living room and controlling my Radio Shack here via the computer.
So it settled down. So this is what I wanted to show you. There are situations, it seems to only be when OBS is running. Now, anybody who's not running OBS, you shouldn't see too much. I'm not going to guarantee it, but you shouldn't see too much of a problem. I've had this running all day, and I keep closing it down, restarting it, rebooting the computer. I've had one hiccup where the audio became distorted in OBS, and all I had to do was close OBS and reopen it again, and everything settled down. So, but a potato I was running for several days, and all of a sudden it started doing that, and it was fine. So that's my point. That's what I'm trying to tell you is it's a crapshoot. If you're going to play this game, it's a crapshoot. 2 cards is the best way to go. Also, the other thing I noticed is that the audio running 2 independent cards. In other words, 1 card, if you go to my website, I show you exactly how to put that together. 1 card acts as your main station card. That communicates with the radio. The other card communicates with Cakewalk or your DAW. That is a great system, but the whole purpose of it is, what I was going to say was I can hear the difference in the audio running 2 independent cards. So, and it's better. It's better than doing everything virtually. Doesn't make sense, does it? But it actually is. I bring an analog line out of the back of 1 card into channel 1 of the other card, and that's my main station card, and that pipes all of the Cakewalk audio processed into the Sun, and the Sun communicates with just that 1 card. So I don't have to worry about sharing cards, and I don't have to run potato. That's the whole purpose. The easiest way to do this, and the best way to do this, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is to run 2 independent cards. It's an extra $100. You spent $3,000 on a radio. What's another $100 for a card? But the caveat is, be careful if you're running a Mackie card. That's all I got to say. They are not robust. You get any RF into those and you'll take them out. So that's it, folks. Don't know if that helps, but I like the idea of having everything virtual. I don't like the idea that it's not stable. I can tell you the other system running 2 independent cards is rock solid and stable. It's a tough call, isn't it? Yep. And John's right. That's another thing. Thank you, John, for reminding me. Choke everything. If you're running sound cards, I just choked everything up last night because I got thinking about it. I was like, man, I got to put chokes on everything. Because now I know two of my friends have suffered card failures, Mackeys, and Paul knows 3 others that are all Mackeys over there. So I'm like, dude, you're playing Russian roulette. Probably should at least, if I can't do any isolators or anything like that, I should at least have chokes on the lines. Will it help? Who knows? Like we always say, right? Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So I figured if I have it, throw them on there. Still gets taken out. It's the game we play, right? Anyways, we'll see you guys later. Have a great afternoon, evening, and we'll see you again soon, hopefully. Thanks for stopping by. Let me check back into the chat. Don't see anything. 18. Let's see. Oh, the X-Air 18. Yeah. See, I ain't going to spend money on that. Yeah, that's a rich man sport. I'm doing all of this because it's free. The only thing you need is a sound card. And all of this, I forgot to mention that, all of this is free. Free is good. And 2 sound cards is still a heck of a lot cheaper than an X-Air. Take it for what it's worth. But an X-Air is killer. They're really good. They're great pieces of devices, great devices, but they ain't cheap. So that's kind of where I'm going. All of this is, how to do it as cost effective as possible. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And that's why I like the idea of this, because shoot, man, you could just pick up an $80, $100 sound card. You're off and running and you got everything. The rest of it is literally free. All the plugins, all the software, it's done.